What role did the Jedi play in the fire on Brendok? We're talking about all of your burning questions after the first 3 episodes of The Acolyte, so let's get to it. What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an Urban Acolyte. Well, guys, after some issues with my bank back in Nashville, I finally started watching The Acolyte a few days ago, and I gotta say that I am absolutely hooked. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm interested in seeing how everything unfolds and seeing how all of the pieces fit together. But hey, y'all know how we do here at Acolyte Squad. So amidst all that crazy drama that's happening with those inferior Star Wars channels, well, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the story. We're looking at the themes, and we're asking the questions that the theory channels about Star Wars are too dumb to ask because they're all caught up in this rigmarole of nonsense. But we're 3 episodes into The Acolyte, and I'm not going to do recaps and all that stuff because, well, I'm sure y'all have already seen Star Wars Explained doing an excellent job recapping the episode. But alright, Acolyte Squad, hey, you guys buckle up. We're about to dissect the themes of the first 3 episodes, but before we do, hey guys, drop a comment below with your own burning questions after seeing the first 3 episodes. Is it about the Force, the Jedi's motives, or is it something else entirely? Hey, let's see what mysteries are keeping you guys up at night about this show. Well, the first 3 episodes of The Acolyte have thrown us headfirst into the world of the High Republic period. We've been quickly introduced to a host of interesting characters and some tangled storylines, but beneath the surface, there are some powerful threads weaving their magic, shaping the choices that our characters make, and hinting at some big reveals and epic confrontations coming in later episodes. Well, let's dive deeper and identify the central themes that I've identified through the first 3 episodes. Well, the first theme that I've seen run throughout the first 3 episodes of The Acolyte is secrets and deception. From the opening scene of episode 1, there's been a veil of mystery hanging over the characters and their motivations. Well, let's unravel some of these secrets, starting with the hidden past of Osha and Mae, and explore how these deceptions are shaping their destinies. Well, Osha and Mae's childhood on Brendok is shrouded in secrecy. In episode 3, we get a glimpse at their Force abilities as children, and we briefly see life within the Coven, but the full picture is obscured by the fire that consumed their home. What really happened during their upbringing, and how did they even get there in the first place? What secrets of the thread did Mother Anastasia impart to them, and how did her teaching shape their understanding of not only the Force, but of the entire galaxy? Well, the Jedi's arrival on Brendok further intensifies the theme of secrets and deception. The Jedi's real motive is shrouded in secrecy. Were they really there to investigate a rumor of children being trained, or was there something more sinister to why the Jedi were on Brendok in the first place? Were the Jedi planning to take the girls by force, separating them from their mother and the Coven? There's a lack of transparency surrounding the Jedi's actions, which casts a shadow of doubt, leaving the audience to question the Jedi's actual goals. Now, adding another layer of secrecy and deception to the narrative is the Witches' Coven itself. They operate in the shadows, hiding their true nature and practices. Their unique concept of the Force, which they call the Thread, stands in stark contrast to the Jedi's teachings. What other secrets might the Coven possess about the Force? Do they possess some arcane knowledge of the Force that perhaps the Jedi, or someone else, might desperately seek? This veil of secrecy creates a sense of tension and fuels speculation about the real power that's being wielded by these witches. As we dive deeper into the story, the secrets hidden by both Osha and Mae, the Jedi, and the Coven will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in shaping the galaxy's fate. Well, another powerful theme woven throughout the first 3 episodes is family and betrayal. At the heart of this story lies the complex bond between Osha and Mae, twin sisters with an undeniable connection. We see glimpses of their bond during their childhood within the Coven, but their paths diverge dramatically once the Jedi arrive. Osha, drawn to the Jedi teachings and the promise of a different life, chooses to leave her family on Brendok. Here, the seeds of betrayal are sown, and even though their contrasting choices might appear to be black and white, well, a deeper look shows these events are actually in shades of gray. Mae, left behind with the devastation of the fire and the loss of their mother and her sister, harbors anger and resentment towards the Jedi. Was the fire really an accident, or was it fueled by a sense of betrayal at being abandoned by her sister? This complex family dynamic adds depth to the story unfolding, and it leaves us with questions about the true nature of their bond and the choices that tore them apart. The tragedy of the fire is a pivotal moment that forever alters this sister's relationship and leaving a lasting mark on their destinies. Was this family fractured beyond repair, or is there hope for reconciliation in the future? Now, one of the most fascinating themes explored in the Acolyte's first 3 episodes is the power of the Force. While both Jedi and the witches acknowledge the existence of the Force, their philosophies and training methods regarding it differ drastically. The Jedi view the Force as a unifying field that binds all living things. They believe in maintaining balance and control, emphasizing discipline and meditation in their training. We see glimpses of younglings receiving meditation training from Master Soul at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. In stark contrast, the witches understand the Force as a living entity, like a powerful current known as the thread. They seem to focus on tapping into the raw emotions and primal nature of the Force, using it for both healing and for manipulation. We witness glimpses of the Coven's rituals, filled with chanting and intense emotional expression that contrast starkly with the calm serenity of the Jedi training grounds. Well, this fundamental difference in philosophies creates tension and raises some intriguing questions. Does one approach necessarily negate the other? Can there be a bridge between these seemingly opposing views? Well, as Osha grapples with what happened with her family and with her Jedi training, we might eventually see a character who embodies this potential bridge between the two interpretations. But on the other side, we could see Mae accomplish something similar, should she ascend to becoming an actual Dark Lord of the Sith, that is. The clash between the Jedi and witch perspectives on the Force promises to be a driving force in the future of the Acolyte, shaping not only the characters' destinies, but also the overall balance of power in the galaxy. And it will be even more interesting seeing how the Sith operate from the shadows while these conflicting views are further being explored. So, Acolyte Squad, after exploring these themes, what lingering questions are burning brightest in your minds? Is it the true nature of the fire, the Jedi's ultimate goal there on Brendok, or perhaps the fate of the Witch's Coven? Let's delve into the unanswered mysteries that keep us glued to our screens and theorize about what the future holds for Osha, Mae, and the galaxy in the upcoming episodes of The Acolyte. Well, now that we've delved into the central themes that are woven throughout the first 3 episodes, hey, let's shift our focus to the mysteries keeping us glued to the screen and the theory machines running. Unanswered questions are the lifeblood of any good story, and so far, the Acolyte is serving them up in abundance. From the devastating fire on Brendok to the true motives of the Jedi, hey y'all, there's a web of intrigue just waiting to be untangled. So buckle up, y'all, because we're diving in headfirst into the burning questions that I believe will undoubtedly drive the story forward and impact the outcome of the events to come. Well, one of the most burning questions left smoldering in the aftermath of the Brendok tragedy is the real cause of the fire. While Mae is the one who obviously started the fire, I can't shake the feeling that something more sinister might be at play. Did the Jedi inadvertently contribute to the inferno? Maybe there's a strange connection to the strange scars on Torben's face, a possible consequence of the Jedi's intervention, or a clue to a deeper power at play during the events on Brendok. As we explore this unanswered question, look, it's crucial to keep an eye out for any subtle hints or inconsistencies in the Jedi's actions that might shed light on their true role in the fire's devastation. In the aftermath of the fire, there's some question around the fate of the witches. While the flames appeared to have consumed the Coven, I can't shake the feeling that some of the witches may have actually survived the inferno. We saw bodies lying everywhere when Osha left with Soul, including Mother Anastasia, but I'm not sure if I saw everyone. Specifically, I'm talking about Mother Coral. Could she have somehow escaped the flames or something that I hadn't considered? Maybe she could have used her powers to orchestrate the entire thing. Like, what really happened when Coral left with Mae before the fires even started? I think learning the fate of all of the witches will be crucial to understanding the Coven's true potential and their possible role in the future. Now, one of the most intriguing mysteries lurking beyond the veil of the first 3 episodes has to do with why Osha left the Jedi Order. We see her embraced by Master Soul by the end of the first episode, but the flashbacks to the events on Brendok threw a massive question back into the equation. What happened during the 10-year period that we didn't see that caused Osha to want to abandon the Jedi path that she initially wholeheartedly embraced when she was a little kid? Well, let's delve into a few compelling theories. Since that Star Wars guy who's supposed to specialize in theories is more interested in crying and complaining than actually speculating about Star Wars. Well, first, there's the trauma from what happened on Brendok. As we've already highlighted, the fire and loss of family may have left lasting emotional scars on Osha. Jedi teachings emphasize emotional control, and the trauma may have hindered her ability to fully embrace this aspect of the Jedi's teachings. Perhaps her struggle with letting go of the past manifested in her training, and it caused some concern among the Jedi Council. Is this what may have led to Master Endar reluctantly approaching the Council about discontinuing Osha's training? Maybe she was fearing that Osha's unresolved pain might make her susceptible to the dark side. Could it be a conflict due to her previous training? Look, we've seen glimpses of the stark difference between Jedi and witch philosophy on the Force. Maybe Osha, over time, felt a growing dissonance with the Jedi's teachings. Maybe she didn't feel a connection to the Force the same way she didn't resonate with the thread concept of the witches, which might have led her to question the Jedi way and ultimately choose a different path for herself. Now look, this one might seem like a bit of a long shot right now, but there's also the possibility that Osha uncovered a hidden truth about the events on Brendok, something that could have eroded her trust in the Jedi. Maybe Osha found evidence of the Jedi involvement in the fire, or maybe she uncovered a more sinister motive behind the Jedi's arrival on Brendok. This revelation could have led to her becoming disillusioned with the Jedi and led to her decision to leave the Order altogether. Well, these are just a few possibilities for y'all to think about to spark the discussion. Now, as we get deeper into the series, the real answer for Osha's departure will likely be revealed. Now, the last burning question for me has to do with whatever it was that the Jedi were doing on Brendok. What were their real motivations? Now, on the surface, their mission appears to have been to investigate the rumors of Force-sensitive children being trained by the Coven, but their actions and their lack of transparency paint a murkier picture. Why was Sol spying on the girls? Did the Jedi intend to take both twins by force, separating them from their family and the Coven? Maybe the Jedi sensed a growing power on Brendok, a vergence in the Force, and they felt that whatever it was, it needed to be brought under Jedi control. There's also the possibility that the Jedi's arrival could have been tied to a larger undisclosed threat, something emanating from the enclave of the Coven that the Jedi felt compelled to investigate. But ultimately, the Jedi's true motives on Brendok remain shrouded in secrecy, leaving viewers to speculate and question their ultimate goals. But I want to remind you guys what Torben said. He said we felt that we were doing the right thing, and whatever it was, he harbored so much guilt over the outcome that it led him to taking a brash vow and ultimately taking his own life. Well, now that we've tackled some of the major unanswered questions from the first 3 episodes, let's not forget the other lingering mysteries that have sparked some serious discussions among Acolyte fans. Now, these additional questions add layers of intrigue and foreshadow some possible plot twists in future episodes. So let's take a look at some of the upcoming possibilities that might be uncovered in future episodes. One of the most intense discussions within the fandom has to do with the identity and the goals of the Master, who seems to be manipulating Mae from a distance. Who is this mysterious figure that we believe to be a Dark Lord of the Sith? Could it be a familiar face that we've already seen, or a new villain who's waiting to be unveiled? Their ultimate plan remains to be shrouded in secrecy for now. But the big question for right now is if this person is simply looking to exploit Mae's anger and resentment to further their own agenda, or is there a bigger game being played that we just can't see right now? This master that Mae serves adds a layer of danger and intrigue to the story, and their true identity and objectives will most likely be a major focus as the story unfolds. Now, as important as I believe the master will be to the bigger picture, one of the things at the heart of this story is the question of the potential of the twins. Osha and Mae share an undeniable connection that's been hinted at through the first 3 episodes. But what is it that truly sets them apart? Before the Jedi's arrival, Mother Anastaea's cryptic words to them were, "You and your sister are special, Osha. I want you to stay special." But what is it that makes them so special? Is there some unique connection to the Force, a bond that transcends the boundaries of normal Force sensitivity? Perhaps the Coven's way of looking at the Force as the thread as opposed to the Jedi and even Sith teachings on the Force has created a unique duality within the Force. There are already people asking if Osha and Mae are a dyad, and if they are, well, then getting the two of them together could be the key to unlocking immense power, a power that the Sith especially are desperately seeking to understand and to control and replicate. Now, this last thing is something that I want you guys to hold with you as we progress through the series. I don't know how important it'll be, but I'm curious about the Ascension ceremony and how important it will be besides what we initially saw in episode 3. Now, during the Ascension ceremony, we witnessed the Coven preparing Osha and Mae for what was supposed to be a pivotal moment with promises of giving them the power of many instead of the power of one. What exactly was this meant to offer the twins? Was it a heightened connection to the Force? Maybe the ceremony was designed to offer them something unknown to the Jedi and aligning more closely with the Witch's concept of the thread. Now, on the surface, it sounded like a deeper connection to the Force itself. What needs to be noted is that Mae, with her very visible yin-yang tattoo, which could be a nod to the mosaic of the first Jedi seen on Ahch-To in The Last Jedi, is a sign of her ascension. Osha, on the other hand, did not ascend because, well, the Jedi intruded during that part of the ceremony. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of The Acolyte. I know there's been a lot of backlash online from the usual suspects, and look, I don't watch those channels, but I already know most of it is rage bait, and they don't have any actual points to discuss. So if you're watching and you agree with the stuff that those other folks are saying on those channels, well, it's basically because you're a dumbass. But anyway, look, I like the show. I think it's dope. I'm going to share my thoughts about it. So, hey, look for my discussions probably on Sundays. I'd like to do some other videos on The Acolyte, but we'll see. If I do, look, for now, I'm going to go all in on The Acolyte because there's really a lot to talk about. Like, there's stuff I didn't even get to unpack in this video, like the real world history behind the Coven of Witches. If you're curious about that, just look up the Beguines and wait for my video. But there's also some really dope theories floating around social media about the Sith in the series. So maybe I'll do a video responding to the really stupid stuff these I hate Star Wars, but I can't stop talking about Star Wars channels are posting, and maybe a video on the latest fan theories. So yeah, check back for those videos if you like my take on The Acolyte, and we can keep the party going with people who actually like this show and want to unpack it. But hey, before I bounce, look, I want to hear from you guys. What are your theories about Osha, Mae, the Jedi, and the Sith involvement? And let me know your thoughts. Let's keep the discussion going in the comments section. And hey, whether this video gets 5 views or 500,000, look, blow up the comments section and let's show that the mature Star Wars fans have something to say about this show too. But anyway, hey guys, that's all I got for this one. So thanks for hanging out with me. And while you wait on the next video, y'all keep on breathing. May the force of others be with you always.